Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you spend your days wrestling with complex simulations, managing tight component tolerances, or sweating over high-stakes prototyping, you're going to want to pay close attention because this analysis is incredibly relevant to you. Today, we're diving into SpicePark. It's a brand new subscription library that's honestly built from the ground up to empower modern, professional circuit designers. Let's just jump right in. Okay, here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll start by looking at circuit design challenges, then formally introduce SpicePark. From there, we'll map out the vast device and application coverage, peek inside the verified library, break down the pricing and subscription model, and wrap up with all the details on the big August 2026 launch. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Circuit Design Challenges, specifically testing the unpredictable. As seasoned engineers, you already know the golden rule. Designing highly reliable circuits is all about anticipating real-world failures way before you hit manufacturing. But here's the million-dollar question. How exactly do you test the unpredictable? Relying purely on physical prototyping in these cutting-edge fields, it's immensely expensive and it completely bottlenecks your time to market. Plus, sometimes intentionally overloading a physical prototype just isn't safe. You literally can't just plug volatile next-gen materials or massive power outputs in and hope for the best, right? You absolutely need a way to accurately simulate that behavior before you ever even touch a soldering iron. The source materials really highlight where these physical limitations hit the hardest. We're talking about notoriously hard-to-test fields. Heavy-duty power electronics, the super complex nature of secondary battery charge and discharge cycles, solar cells, energy harvesting. Oh, and of course, space, defense, and special environment equipment. Try perfectly replicating deep space conditions in a standard terrestrial lab. It's practically impossible. In these high-stakes applications, a single faulty physical experiment is a massive drain on your project's resources. Which brings us right to Section 2. Welcome to SpicePark, the ultimate risk reduction solution. The documentation presents this platform as the macro solution to tackle those exact prototyping nightmares head-on. If you look at its core philosophy, SpicePark heavily specializes in power electronics and battery spice models. It's explicitly structured for those advanced, hard-to-test applications we were just talking about. The whole idea here is that by giving you highly accurate, validated models, the platform drastically cuts down prototyping time and mitigates design risk. It lets your team build on a rock-solid foundation of validated data rather than expensive guesswork. Moving right along to Section 3, Vast Device and Application Coverage. Let's look at the breadth and depth. So, what's actually under the hood? Well, the target devices included in this library are honestly pretty staggering. The source outlines coverage for next-gen semiconductors like silicon carbide and gallium nitride, and we all know those are notoriously tricky to model accurately because of their high switching speeds. It also covers standard power silicon semiconductors like IGBTs and power MOSFETs, plus a huge focus on secondary batteries, everything from solid-state to standard lithium-ion. Throw in solar cells, energy harvesters, and essential system components like sensors, motors, and fuses, and you got a seriously robust toolkit for modern system design. And get this, according to the source, these devices span across 63 distinct classifications. 63. That means they map directly to real-world, high-stakes applications. We're talking about the booming fields of xEVs and automotive power, complex microgrids for renewable energy, and super-precise industrial robotics. These are sectors where precision isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely critical. All right, Section 4, Inside the Verified Library. Let's talk about what you actually download. We've seen the big picture. Now let's zoom in on what happens when an engineer clicks download. The sheer scale of this resource currently stands at 7,490. That's the number of highly specialized models sitting in this library right now. It's basically a massive repository built so you can find that one exact obscure component you need for your simulation, saving you, well, potentially hours of searching or custom modeling. When you actually request one of those thousands of models, the documentation shows you get a zip file with 3 very distinct assets. First, the PSpice model itself. That's your core simulation data. Second, the PSpice schematic symbol, which gives you ready-to-use visual components right for your diagram workflow. And third, the device modeling report, which is the verified documentation that backs up the model's accuracy. Oh, and a quick practical detail from the source. Once you hit request, your window to download that specific zip file is exactly 48 hours, so don't sit on it. Now, this is absolutely crucial. The source emphasizes that all models are verified and come with those comprehensive reports. For professional circuit design, this is a total game changer for removing guesswork. Having a validated report gives you total confidence that your virtual components are going to behave exactly like their physical counterparts when put under stress.
Let's pivot to Section 5, Pricing and Subscription Model. Predictable value.
So, how do professional B2B engineers actually engage with this? The Spice Park user journey follows a really logical progression. You start out using free models, just to build familiarity with the interface and see how it feels. From there, you can step up to the core premium subscription tier. Or, if you have highly customized proprietary needs, they actually branch out into a dedicated custom device modeling service that scales right alongside your specific project. And the stated cost for that core premium subscription? It's just $30 a month. For professionals managing tight budgets and crazy deadlines, this is positioned as a highly accessible, totally predictable monthly cost to get your hands on verified Spice models. Plus, to make it seamless for the global B2B market, payments are handled right through PayPal. Comparing the two main tiers directly, the free model is basically your sandbox for building familiarity. But the subscription tier is where the real professional power unlocks. For that $30, you get exactly 5 premium verified models every single month. When you stop and juxtapose the engineering value of, say, a verified solid-state battery model against a $30 monthly cost, it's pretty clear the platform is positioning this as a massive return on investment for design teams.
And finally, Section 6, the August 2026 launch. Definitely mark your calendars for this one. Now that we understand the incredible value proposition outlined in the source, here is the absolute biggest takeaway from this explainer. The SDIC Park Subscription Distribution Service is officially scheduled to launch in August 2026. Make sure you jot that down. This is a dedicated service built directly for circuit designers who utilize Spice in their day-to-day workflows. It's structured specifically so that professionals can easily understand, integrate, and fundamentally upgrade their simulation capabilities.
Which leaves us with this final provocative thought derived from today's analysis. When this service rolls out, is your next high-stakes prototype going to be built on expensive physical guesswork or on verified Spice data? As the rapid evolution of circuit design demands more and more extreme precision, platforms like Spice Park are stepping up to meet that challenge. Keep that August 2026 launch date on your radar. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, here's to faster, more predictable designing.